In this episode, Peg gets a surprise, or does she?
I'm also imprisoned, or am I?
We reveal our favourite meal out on our 8-month trip around the world.
Was it Tony's award-winning pizza, Pier Market sourdough clam chowder, or Crepe Cafe pancakes?
We visit a famous film location, attracting thousands of visitors each day.
And back by popular demand, we play Guess the Bill, and the winner doesn't pay for dinner.
We've just arrived in San Francisco. We've gone through passport control. They've warned us where not to go because there's a high crime rate here at the moment, post-COVID.
Travelling in from San Francisco airport to our hotel, the high level of homelessness was really evident.
Where are we, Peg?
We're at Pier 39.
This is our first full day in San Francisco. Peg, how are you this morning?
I'm feeling a bit better than I did yesterday. I was a little bit jet-lagged yesterday.
Had our first bath in about 9 months. We have had showers in between, but certainly our first bath. That's been a real pleasure. And now we're on our way, walking down towards Fisherman's Wharf again, and a little boat trip out to Alcatraz.
Yeah, we're just walking through Chinatown, which is absolutely magnificent in San Francisco, and then we will be getting some brunch, very late brunch.
A very late brunch indeed, but we're looking forward to that once we find the right spot. So we're back at Pier 39, a popular tourist destination, lots of restaurants and shops and ice cream, not to mention a few sea lions. Rather smelly, very noisy, and very lovely. Looking for breakfast this time, at 2:30 in the afternoon, has to be said. Couldn't get our first choice for breakfast, so it's come down to clam chowder and a bread bowl, or pancakes. We're heading back to Pancake Place. The only thing we didn't like about that was there was extremely limited outside eating. It's really eating on the hoof, which isn't ideal. We'd like a coffee with it as well, so probably going to go back there. Let's see what we find. Right, we've just had an enjoyable pancake lunch. We joined James and Melissa, who were very kind for us to allow us to join their table. Peg is fed.
Yeah, I've been fed. There are a couple that we started talking to. They met at Liverpool University and they live in Leicester.
So that was really pleasant, and I think James is doing the Chester Marathon. So good luck with that, James. Hope you go well on that one. And we're now making our way over to the boat takes us over to Alcatraz. Okay, so this guy here is in camouflage. He's probably going to jump out at Peg. We've seen him do it on somebody else, so let's just see what happens here. No, he's let Peg go. It's a really good disguise.
Yep,
Apparently that guy has a YouTube channel. He's recording his experiences, jumping out on people. Just near Fisherman's Wharf, so if you see a dangerous looking plant there, be very careful. Alcatraz is a national park and under federal jurisdiction. It is not bound by California laws. So an example of this is you can only smoke tobacco and not marijuana, as you can on the mainland.
As you come onto the island, there's a sign stating that this is Indian land and Indians are welcome. In 1969, a group called the Indians of All Tribe, who were Native Americans, occupied Alcatraz for 19 months in the name of freedom and Native American civil rights.
This small island has been a fort, military prison and a maximum security federal penitentiary. The morgue has 3 vaults and an examination table and was built at the entrance to a tunnel which was used by soldiers to cross to the opposite side of the island.
We were really surprised to learn that only one deceased prisoner had ever been stored in the morgue.
USA has 5% of the world's general population, but 25% of the world's incarcerated population. So this is the shower block here where the new prisoners used to come in before they go into the main area. No privacy whatsoever. There's a lot of showers here.
And after showering, the inmates would collect their prison-issue clothing from a caged area, and once dressed in their Alcatraz blues, the convicts were marched into the general population cells on the floor above, and they would be called fresh fish.
Walk through the cutoff. The Alcatraz cell house opened as a federal prison in 1934. Within these walls lived the country's toughest, most dangerous, and most famous prisoners. Broadway was the first stop for arriving prisoners.
Alcatraz is always classed as the end of the line, the point of no return. It was like going into the ground. You know, when you're buried, you're gone forever.
In June 1962, 3 inmates escaped from Alcatraz. They opened up the ventilation ducts beneath their sinks by using saw blades and metal spoons.
To fool the guards that they were still in their cells, they placed papier-mâché heads in their beds. Their plan worked, as they weren't discovered missing until the following morning. The men were never found and assumed drowned. Where are we, Peg?
We're at Alcatraz.
And have you enjoyed your tour today?
It's been really interesting, actually. I think there's something fascinating about going round a penitentiary, a prison where people have been incarcerated, and this was the prison for prisoners that couldn't be housed in other prisons, so this was like the real maximum security prison.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite incredible to look around. I mean, I don't think it was operational for quite that long, really, was it?
No, 30 years.
So, I mean, you know, a mammoth amount of effort's gone to build this place. It's probably been long. It's definitely been longer as a tourist destination than it ever was as a prison.
Yeah, and it's just fascinating to hear the stories. I think that's what it is. It's hearing the stories, and some of the characters in there had hardly done anything at all, but seemed to get brutalised by the whole penitentiary set. You know, the whole prison system.
If you like birds, come to Alcatraz.
And if you like history about the prison service in the USA as well, quite fascinating.
Yeah, so it's also got a prison. If you weren't aware of that, Alcatraz has got this behind us. So come for your birds, come for the prison information, and I think you'll have a great day out. So Peg and I have made it outside of the building, and we're now planning our escape. Just trying to figure out where the best place off the rock actually is. How would you get out of here? The number of birds here is absolutely astonishing. Just incredible. Peg is absolutely in her element here.
It's Bird City!
Wow.
We've seen 2 different types of cormorants. We've seen seagulls aplenty. We've seen snowy egrets. We've seen pelicans. My cup absolutely runneth over. And I've seen 1 massive heron.
The heron was pretty big, it has to be said. Down into the gardens here. We understand that the prisoners did this, Peg,
Yeah,
initially.
Planted them.
So they're doing really well.
Absolutely beautiful. On recommendation, we went to Pier 39 to have clam chowder that was served in a sourdough bowl.
It was truly delish, the best meal out on our whole trip.
This was followed by 2 nutty Irishmen and an apple crisp dessert between us. That was yum.
Many thanks to Stefan for great service. Lombard Street is famous for a steep section with 8 hairpin turns and is part of US Route 101.
This famous one-block section is claimed to be the crookedest street in the world.
It is a major tourist attraction, receiving up to 17,000 visitors each day.
Chase scenes have been filmed here from films including Magnum Force and Ant-Man. So we're outside Tony's Pizza and we've walked past here a few times and there's always a buzz round here. So we stopped and asked a couple of the ladies who were waiting outside earlier on, and they said that this was the first place that won the pizza competition in Napoli outside of any Italians winning it. So the guy's got a really good reputation and we're hoping that we're going to get some really good pizza.
Can't wait for this because I absolutely love pizza.
Rob's ideal diet would be pizza and ice cream. I'm sure he's Italian, really.
2 puddings, 2 coffees, 2 pizzas, 1 bottle of wine. Peg, how much is the bill going to be? Remember, if you're further away than me, you're paying.
Okay, I reckon with the tip, it's going to be 150 plus.
I'm going to guess 144. That's what I've calculated it to be. $144. Peg's got 150. Who's the nearest? Furthest away pays. Sorry, Peg. I hope you brought a lot of money with you tonight.
I think he might have forgotten about the GST.
That GST catches me out every time. She knew the GST. I didn't factor in the GST.
Tony's was a really informal place and we got chatting to lots of different people there, and our server, Sarah Rose, was absolutely lovely.
Okay, so the price came out at $160. Peg was nearest. I paid. I forgot to add the tax on. I always forget to add the tax on. Can Peg stop a cable car in full flow? This is what we're about to find out.
Quite the romantic experience I expected from here.
Bye. Next time, we're in Vegas and find something that puts a smile on Peg's face. What have we found that's brought a smile to your face?